All right, welcome in to Big Hitters Only, brought to you by Roback. Roback.com. New promo code. Adam. Big Hitters 20. BHO 20 got compromised. We're now with Big Hitters 20. Check out all they have. Get your girlfriend, your wife, your fiance a gift. There's tons of stuff on Roback.com. Get yourself something. 20% off your first order. Big Hitters 20, awesome gear to get set for the golf season. All right, Adam, bringing you back on. Appreciate your time as always. We're recording Wednesday, February 4th at 1:13 p.m. in the afternoon. The snow is melting as the Carolinas warm up. How's it going?
It's going. What do you mean it got compromised? The promo. What does that even mean?
I think like bots got it, so like there were tons of sales using the promo code, and so like
Wouldn't that be good though? Would that be good? I'm not in business.
Yeah, but I don't think they want like to pay out on this random people buying. I don't know. So I probably made tons of sales, and then like I didn't get the credit from it. You know, I don't know if you online shopping, you can like find promo codes for about anything you want. Anyway, how is your?
I'm just very curious.
Yeah.
My young son, one of your biggest fans, by the way, I was explaining to him your Roarback sponsorship and showing him the shirts one night, and it was it was quite a time to see the models that they had.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of white guys, obviously. You know, he was enjoying it. He thought that it fit, which I think he was complimenting you.
I got the Q-zip on right now. Got a Roback Q-zip. How's it going, man? How's the snow break? How's the dude? How about that storm? It's unbelievable.
I mean, I know we got a ton. I'm in Mebane, North Carolina, and I swear I think we got more than 6 inches. It seems like to me. I mean, I've been told 6 inches is a lot, but you know, I don't know. There was a ton of it over here. We've been sledding like crazy, man. It's been great.
Dude, we got 8 to 10 inches here, and south of us in Thomasville, Davidson County, they got the most. You know, around 10 to 12.
And that's right. And you guys got it pretty bad with the ice too. I think you got it worse with the ice whenever it was before the snow. So you had sort of that probably a layer of ice to welcome the snow, I guess, right?
Yeah, the sleet there. What'd you have for lunch?
A little ham and turkey sandwich. We're not going to talk about what I put on it. I should have never told you. I should have never told you. I set myself up for failure.
What'd you put on it?
It was delicious. Some nice chips. A little French onion dip.
Oh,
you know,
nice.
It was good. I'm kind of still hungry, actually.
This is what I've made the last week or so. I've made a big thing of chili, 2 beans, beef chili.
Nice.
Roasted chicken. I made a roasted chicken salad yesterday. Really good.
Woo.
Southern style chicken salad. Really good.
You put raisins in it like a.
No, so I went traditional with this one. I'm gonna make some more chicken salad with the fruit, the apples, grapes, potentially raisins, almonds. I made a slow cooked Asian pork butt situation. Put that on some tacos. Lettuce wraps with 3 different pickled vegetables: pickled radish, pickled carrot, and pickled red onions. The woman I live with enjoys that meal. And then I made one other thing, but I'm forgetting it. But we've been cooking.
I was going to say, before you mentioned your partner, I was going to say, I mean, it must be fantastic having you around the house. I mean, you're checking on the chickens. That's not a sex joke. You're checking on the actual chickens outside. You're making the food. Like Big Daddy over there. I don't know if it's Big Dog or Big Daddy running the household.
I would love to see what she would say to that comment. Love having me around the house. I don't know. I mean, I do a lot, but yeah, the cooking's been good. She's been appreciative of the cooking recently. All right, let's get into it, man. This is going to be a show all about UNC basketball here on the top. Sorry about the little interlude there. UNC is 18-4 overall, 6-3 in conference. We're about, halfway through the conference slate? It kind of feels that way, right?
Exactly halfway.
About to enter. Oh, perfect. We're about to enter kind of the tough. It seems like a lot of teams have it's all backloaded with the top teams. Like state schedule's pretty tough to close, Duke, etc. The UNC's on a 4-game winning streak after coming back from the from California. The 2 losses to Stanford and Cal, but they've ripped off wins against Notre Dame, at Virginia, at Georgia Tech, and then Monday against Syracuse, squeaking out a 10-point win after being up 32 with like 10 minutes to go in the
Oh,
second
less than
half.
that. Less than 10, I think.
Well, it got down to 6 with like a minute to go, but they
I'm
won
saying
by
less than, right.
10.
I think it was fewer than 10 minutes. I could be wrong, but I think it was.
Oh yeah, it was like
I think it was
9:40.
like 8 or 9 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, a little rounding there. All right, Adam, give me a general take on like right now heading into the Duke game. What you think about this UNC team? Like, what do you like? What do you dislike? Do these wins mean anything outside of the Virginia game? Should we still be nervous with how they looked at SMU and against Wake and against Cal and Stanford? Like, how do you feel about this UNC team right now?
Well, just settle in. I don't know if you need to get what was the timer you used to have to tell me to shut the hell up when we were doing podcasting today. It was like an hourglass or something. A little no, it wasn't a sundial, but it had sands. I mean, yeah, like they won 4 straight games, and you're asking if they're meaningful or not. I think they're very meaningful in the sense that where they were coming back from the West Coast a couple weeks ago. I mean, it was a bad scene. I mean, people out here. You might have been one of them, Ross, talking about culture and things like that. I don't know if I remember that right, but I remember maybe a big dog tweet about culture after they got their brains beat in out in the Bay Area. But I don't know if I've ever seen anything like building a 32-point lead the other night. How terrible Syracuse was. I mean, they were so bad. I mean, Carolina was good for the first 25, 30 minutes, but Syracuse was just bad. I mean, going through the motions, and then Carolina certainly mentally checked out there at some point. I mean, I think you realize you're up by that, and you know who's coming next on the schedule. I think they mentally said, you know what, it's on to Duke, and Nate King's threw in a few threes, and yeah, I'm sure you watched the game. Carolina kept inbounding the ball in the corner there when they got pressed, and Derek Dixon's getting trapped and turning the ball over. But overall, yeah. I mean, I think it's put up or shut up time. To be quite honest with you, if you need a hook to this, because like you're saying in setting it up, there's 9 games left. It's 18 game season in the ACC now, no longer 20. They've gone back to 18. They're 9 games through. They're 6-3, which is fine. Probably should be better, but that's all right. Of the 9 games they have left, 7 of them are quad 1 games. And as go ahead.
Unlike last season where it was hard to find quad 1 games, there's plenty of opportunities as the season closes to move up in the tournament selection committee's eyes.
As our guy Brian Ives of ESPN and the ACC Network has pointed out, it's the hardest remaining schedule for an ACC team, the one that Carolina has. So, I mean, you've got Duke twice. You go to Miami. You go to NC State. Louisville comes to Chapel Hill. Clemson comes to Chapel Hill. Virginia Tech comes to Chapel Hill. They're not bad. They're good. I mean, they're okay. They can certainly beat Carolina. And then Pitt, I think, is the other of those 9 games. But it's put up or shut up time. It's go time. And they're going to have some chances here to really improve their resume. I think if you look at bracket matrix, I mean, I'm a big time nerd and I do this all the time. It pacifies the demons in my mind. But UNC is generally a 5 or a 6 seed. Most of the sites you might see a 7 in there, you might see a 4, but they're generally the 5 or 6 line. But you win some of these games or the majority of these games, you're going to be in a pretty good place for the NCAA tournament here a month from now.
So a lot of chances to move up.
Sure.
But there's a lot of chances to kind of stay still. You lose a couple to Duke, you drop one to, a Louisville or Clemson or a State or Miami or Louisville. Those are all losable and winnable games. You're probably staying around that 5 to 8 line, and that's not going to be good enough with the fans. That's a whole different conversation. Let's dive into what have things changed in your eyes the last 4 games? Obviously, Virginia win, things look great. And I don't know how much you can really take from Syracuse and take from Georgia Tech and take from a sloppy Notre Dame team to get off the skis there. Have things looked different? They've gone to Dixon. That's a clear move. They're playing Dixon way more. They've moved off Kyan Evans. They're starting Jaden Young. It's this odd thing where you're playing the Greensboro native, Virginia Tech transfer Jaden Young as a starter. He's not playing starter minutes. He's playing like, I don't know, what, 8 to 14 minutes a game?
8 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
I think he played 8 minutes against Syracuse.
And they're bringing in Luka Bogovac and Jaron Stevenson kind of off the bench as your 6th and 7th man, but they're kind of like your 5th and 6th starters, I would assume how that would be phrased. So, I mean, is this a different team? Are they playing better defense? It seems like Luka's playing a lot better. He looks more comfortable. I like Dixon. He looks great. But I fear against a good team, there's still chances to get exposed unless they've truly learned how to D up and shots go in. Because I don't know if we've got to a point where we can trust UNC's three-point shooting game in and game out.
I couldn't agree with you more. I have nothing to disagree with you, other than maybe Derek Dixon being great, but we can get into that.
Looks better, I guess. The position looks better with him running it, I would say.
Right. The last time you had me on, when I returned from my hiatus, or hyanus, as my father would say, was right after they had played Wake Forest. And, it was kind of like, holy shit, because Luka had gone scoreless again. I think he'd been scoreless in 2 of the last 3 when we talked the last time. And it wasn't, the Wake had made a big comeback. But I think what you're talking about there, to me, is sort of maybe not the best case scenario, but a very encouraging signs going into Duke and then Miami and some of these massive, massive tests is that, sure, Jaden Young is, well, we talked about it last time. You said, what does Carolina have to do? And I said, I think you've got to cut Kyan Evans' minutes. Now, I'm not saying I'm a genius, but they have cut Kyan Evans' minutes. He is the 8th man now. And I swear to God, how many times do you see the guy take an open 3-pointer from the corner and just miss the hell out of it, or hit it off the side of the backboard? Anyway, but no, the Jaden Young in the starting lineup situation actually has, in my opinion, allowed UNC to unlock a little bit, some improvement, because I don't know why. Luka, you're right. It has gotten more comfortable coming off the bench in this role. Jaron Stevenson has been super valuable coming off the bench, because I'm sure you've seen they sub him for Vasar very early, like before the first under 4 usually. Mm-hmm. They get him out of there. And then you're into your rotation of they're able to bring Vasar back in for Caleb Wilson. And it just seems like it's a more cohesive, more competent product. Now, by God, there have been some slip-ups, of course. Monday night is the latest example in Chapel Hill against Syracuse. But I think Luka is, in the last month, has become a ton more comfortable. I mean, the shot looks good coming off. He will force some stuff, but it looks good coming off. I did some of the numbers for you, big dog. He 3 straight games in double figures. He's averaging 13.3 points a game the last 3. The last 6, he's averaging 11.5. 4 of the last 6, he's been in double figures. He's shooting 61% from the field in the last 3, including 54% from 3. He's been better. And he gives this team a higher ceiling. They need, some scoring from the perimeter. I mean, they need a player like that.
I sometimes I have to cut you off so you just don't go wandering around. Keep you on track here. I mean, that's exactly what you need from him, right? Like, that's what we said. Hey, 12 points a game, 10 to 15 points a game. And I think the most important thing is just when you get an open 3, you make it. You get 3 open 3s, you make 2 of them. Like, you're making your open 3s, and then anything else is kind of icing on the cake. Mid-range jumper here, something in transition, a couple assists. But you make your open 3s where it's set up for you, a pass out of a double team from Caleb Wilson, which I think is kind of a huge part of this team is the double teaming that defenses are doing against him. And you make your open 3s. And that's something that Kyan really hasn't done. They needed someone to do it. Stevenson's done it a little bit here and there. Powell has been hit or miss with that as well. But Luka over the last, as the stats show, over the last 3-5 games has been a lot better at confidently hitting threes. And you got to have that on a team. The best
And you're
teams
right,
have great
too.
shooters.
You're right to the ball movement. The ball movement at Georgia Tech. I mean, I know Georgia Tech's not good, but I think Carolina had 21 assists and only 2 turnovers that game.
Yeah.
The ball movement has been better. I mean, there were some major red flags, I thought, when they went out to Stanford and Cal. I mean, it was a rough thing to watch. And they still scored a ton of points in that game. I mean, they scored 90 points against Stanford and lost. But yeah, and Luka, he's a crafty passer too. You saw the wraparound feed I think he had to Vasar. Like, he's a crafty playmaker. You never know what you're going to get with him or Caleb Wilson in the open court. I mean, Caleb Wilson obviously is capable of tremendous feats, but sometimes you kind of got to hold your breath a little bit, when Wilson's got the ball on the break or Luka's got the ball on the break. I would want to point out, and I'm not trying to be a hater, but, I've seen people, you might be one of them, who have been very quick to compare Derek Dixon to Kendall Marshall. And I want to say, respectfully, what the hell are you talking about? Kendall Marshall?
Well, I mean, hey, freshman Kendall Marshall.
Have some respect. I mean, come on.
I think it's more about how he looks when he plays. He plays upright. His head is up in transition in the backcourt immediately, and he's been pretty good at those pass aheads, just like Kendall Marshall.
He's thrown 2 of those passes. Come on. He threw 2 passes against
Virginia. Yeah.
And everybody was just like, well, that looks like Kendall Marshall.
Well,
I'm feeling Kendall Marshall vibes. I mean, you've got to be kidding me.
Another thing. What else?
I totally agree with you on the upright posture. You're right about that.
Same size.
Yes.
Light skin, black male.
Derek Dixon did tell us in the preseason when I was in my former job that him and Seth Trimble are part of the light skin squad.
Exactly. But hey, and look, he's a freshman. Kendall Marshall didn't even start until this point as a freshman, right? Right around this time when Larry Drew left the team.
I remember I was covering the team then, and I remember covering the first game he started. And let me tell you, shit looked different when he got in there.
Yeah,
as you know, I mean, it was like that was back in the days of. I mean, Larry Drew left the team in the middle of the season, and nothing like that ever happened ever.
Yeah.
There was no transfer portal. I remember Roy had like a press conference early one morning to address it. And he was hilarious in a way because he's like, I talked to Big Larry. That's what he called Larry Drew's dad, Larry Drew the second. I talked to Big Larry, and Larry Drew had left school. He just packed his stuff and gone. But yeah,
what a teammate! What a good teammate. No, I mean, I don't think he's definitely not as good as Kendall Marshall. They just kind of have a similar way of playing. And I've mentioned that on Twitter, but I haven't followed up on it much. I'd say this: Kendall Marshall certainly had a better team around him.
Sure,
it makes you look better. Anyway, let's move on.
I will say, can I add real quick? I will say that Larry Drew, and I know how Carolina fans feel about him. I get that totally. And I know what his mom was calling like Kendall Marshall's parents fat or something. Like it was a bad scene. But I will say that Larry Drew gave one of the better quotes. I've been sports writing for 25 years. He gave one of the better quotes I've ever heard in my life. And it was the night that Roy, coming off surgery, kicked the Presbyterian fan out of the Dean Dome when he screamed, "Miss it, Dion." And it was like, holy crap, I've never seen anything like this in my life. He just had the guy removed from the game. Like the security guards went up the aisle. You could watch them walking up the aisles of the Dean Dome. And I remember talking to Deion Thompson, because of course he was at the free throw line and some other guys. And Larry Drew said that night, man, that's some head honcho stuff right there. I mean, that wrote the story. Anyway, I know.
I've heard that story a couple of times. I thought it was some gangster stuff, but yeah, I think it was. I remember you saying head honcho.
Head honcho.
The tales you hear at ACC tournament hospitality. Just got my credential approved for that, big dog. Heading down to Charlotte for the ACC tournament, representing CBS Sports and Big Hitters Only.
I may be in a full depression by that point when I don't go to the ACC tournament for the first time in my career. Anyway, go ahead, please.
All right. Wait, is there anything else on Dixon? What I'd say, all right, the offense is not a huge the offense, like you said, looked okay at Cal and Stanford. They can score with teams. It's the defense that is the issue. It's hard to talk about defense, but I wonder if that's been improved. If we've seen different things on how they're operating on defense, especially with these switches. They're huge on switching. You see it. That's all about communication. The man-to-man, defense on the perimeter, and how the bigs hedge, Caleb Wilson's defense, all that stuff. I wonder if that's improved, and we'll definitely see that against John Shire's offense on Saturday. Because the tape is out on what UNC can and cannot do defensively.
I will say that I do think they've been better. How could you be worse, by the way, after the Stanford and Cal debacles? I think they've been better. But, I mean, the thing about this UNC team, and you've seen it these last couple games, Notre Dame's not good. Georgia Tech's not good. Syracuse is talented. I mean, I have a super crush on Donnie Freeman. By God, I love that guy.
Is that Georgia Tech transfer do anything for them?
Nate George?
Yeah.
Not really.
Because UNC went after him.
UNC thought they had him.
Yeah, I think they did. I think Syracuse just outbid him.
No, he maybe he was wise to take the payday. He's not been great. JJ Starling's been kind of hit or miss, but the one thing about UNC is they need you to miss some of the shots that they give up, because they are going to give up. They're just going to give up some open threes. They have fantastic rim protection with Vasar and Caleb Wilson, obviously. Caleb Wilson's motor defensively, I think, is so underrated. I mean, you saw him the other night with, he on the same play, deflected a pass, didn't get it, and then he stole it when the guy tried to throw it right back to the same spot against Syracuse. But some of these teams have missed some of these shots, and they're going to need Duke to do that too, because you're going to see Caleb Foster and Dame Sarr and Haminia and these guys, Caden Boozer, the other Boozer, that even Gongba, probably the big man, will have some open looks from three, and they're going to need them to miss these shots. And these teams have complied lately. I do think the effort has been way better and the communication has been better, but the way Carolina is constructed, what you see is, I don't know if you've noticed this, Caleb Wilson gets tired. You see him bent over, sucking air, because he plays hard. But there are times in some of these games where he is gassed. I mean, he needs to get out of there. Vasar too. I mean, they're playing hard. They really, I know everyone knows this, they depend on those two guys so much. But
I think the big thing
that's where some of the hedging comes in on the screens is some of the big guys are tired.
Yeah. I think the big thing, that's going to be huge against Duke because, Boozer is a handful down low. And Caleb, it's going to be a physical mismatch for Caleb Wilson and Boozer. It's kind of two contrasting styles. Boozer, the bruising. He is just massive. Tree trunks for legs, super strong. And then with Caleb Wilson, not as strong, but more bouncy, a little quicker. But it's going to be a physical mismatch down low. So they're going to need Jaren Stevenson, I think, to man up and defend Boozer some as well in this matchup on Saturday, which is going to be exciting. It's always a chess match with I feel like Duke always has some, obviously some 5-star stud you just kind of go in scared of as a fan. I remember that was Zion. You're just kind of worried that this guy is going to take over because UNC doesn't have a player that matches the physicality or the athleticism. So finally they have someone athletically that's better than anyone Duke has.
I think
in Caleb Wilson.
I think that, the Caleb Wilson Cameron Boozer matchup is must-see TV. There's a reason you see all these commercials with these guys on. It's like a tank against a Ferrari. It's super sexy, dude. Come on. This is awesome. This is freaking awesome. And these guys know each other, Caleb and Boozer. They go back to high school. They played on Night Riders, in the Peach
Is
Jam.
That how you say it?
I think so.
That makes
Night
more
Rider.
sense. That makes more
Night
sense.
Riders.
That's their Caleb Wilson went to their team and was like a secondary player. Imagine Caleb Wilson being your secondary player on your EYBL team.
Imagine trying to just defend that team. Good Lord.
Dude, I was
Go ahead.
39 years old when I realized that's what it stands for, Night Riders. It just spelled
I
somewhere.
might be wrong.
No, that makes so much sense. Knight
This
Riders
this
with an A. Anyway,
this could be bad. I
that's
could be
dumb.
really showing.
No, you're right.
But Ross, what you said there is something that I think is important to think about. Is that it sounds insane to say because this Duke team has won 10 in a row. They're on a 10-game winning streak coming to Chapel Hill. They're 19-1. No, they're 21-1. Their only loss was by 1 point to Texas Tech in Madison Square Garden when JT Toppin and Christian Anderson had the games of their lives. They're an eyelash away from being unbeaten coming to Chapel Hill, but I just don't think, and I think everyone would agree that they're just not as impossible or inevitable or invincible as the Duke team that Carolina lost 3 games to last year. I mean, how could you be with Cooper Flagg, with Con Knippel, with Malawach, with Sion James, with Tyrese Proctor? Well, how did I forget Tyrese Proctor? This Duke team, even though they haven't lost, and by the way, I hate to tell you this, their last 6 wins have been by 21.5 points per game average, Duke. They've beaten some bad teams, but
it seems like they will trail or be close in the first half, and they figure it out and pull away in the second half. Like they've been in a lot of close games in the first half.
Here are the teams Duke has beaten in the non-conference: Texas, Kansas, Arkansas, Florida, Michigan State. They've beaten Louisville twice in ACC play. I mean, they had a shaky stretch right around New Year's. Actually, New Year's Eve, they played Georgia Tech in Durham and damn near lost the game to Georgia Tech. I mean, they were they were in trouble. My voice is getting high, isn't it? Then they went and played FSU and nearly lost that game. And Georgia Tech and FSU are terrible. But since then, it was a stretch of Georgia Tech, FSU, Louisville, SMU. They played SMU without Boopy. He was sick. They left him at the hotel. And SMU hung with them in Cameron. Since then, again, they've beaten some bad teams like Wake and BC. But they have beaten these teams convincingly. I mean, they've routed. I mean, you saw what they absolutely obliterated Louisville and Cameron last week.
What do you think the spread's going to be?
I was like 6.5, 4.5, 4.5, maybe.
Yeah,
what would you say?
Yeah, I'm not good at this. In Carolina. Yeah.
In Chapel Hill. Carolina hasn't lost at home. They're 13-0 at home.
Yeah, I could see it being like 4.5, 5. I mean, Duke's clearly the better team, but you know how these games go.
How about Boozer? It doesn't. Number 1 in the ACC in scoring, Cameron Boozer. Number 1 in rebounding. 4th in field goal percentage. 4th in steals. 12th in assists. He leads Duke in assists. He leads Duke in steals.
It is crazy. I mean, to have Cooper Flagg and have him, I think Boozer's been way better than expected. I mean, everybody thought it was going to be good. Same with Caleb Wilson. But these freshmen this season are outperforming the expectations going in. I mean, my day job is dealing with these recruits and rankings and stuff. Not that I rank them or scout them, but I edit all that stuff and see it. I mean, almost everyone, not everyone, but there's 10 people who have outperformed expectations. Peterson, DeBansa, high expectations. Boozer, Wilson, Kingston Flemings, the guy from at Illinois who we had ranked 150, Keaton Wagler, Mikael Brown Jr., Stanford, Abuka Corey, who UNC saw front and center, who destroyed UNC. I mean, there's some guys haven't lived up to expectations, but it was supposed to be a very good class, and it's turned out to be excellent with a lot of players outperforming expectations, which is obviously benefited UNC on 1 and 2. All right, outside of Boozer, what makes this Duke team so good? I feel like you watch every single game. I mean, all you do is watch ACC basketball at night, right? I mean, it's dinner. It's probably little mac and cheese, canned cream corn, maybe a canned beef steak, chicken fried steak, and then it's just sitting down for ACC ball from 7 till 11.
We had taco soup last night.
Yeah, that checks out.
I mean, it's cold.
Yeah, it's great. It's like suburban country family meals.
What did you say? Chicken fried steak? That kind of sounds good.
It's delicious. I mean, it's the reason why it's good.
It's like a backhanded compliment. All you do is just watch ball after you have dinner, you lazy piece of shit. Like, uh, well, what'd you say? What makes Duke good?
Like, what are you doing
I
tonight?
mean,
What are you gonna do tonight, honey? We gonna hang out? We gonna play a board game, a family game? Nah, I gotta watch. I gotta watch FSU at Stanford.
actually, Georgia Tech and Clemson are out there this
Yeah.
week. So, I mean, you would be interested to see what Clemson does. Clemson bores the living piss out of me, but, they've only lost one ACC game, even though they're very boring. Not to talk bad about your boy Brad at Brownell, but
All right.
I,
So what makes Duke? What makes Duke special outside of Boozer?
I mean, that's a good question because, like, they have been on a search all season for, Robin to Batman. I mean, they Isaiah Evans, aka Showtime Slim, if you're a Dookie. I mean, he's been good the last, what was it? In this 10-game win streak, I got another number for you. This 10-game win streak, Evans has averaged 17 points a game. The first 12, he was 11.8. He's been better. And, I would say Isaiah Evans obviously is probably the only guy. I mean, Boozer, you can sort of take him out and pencil him in for 22 points and 12 rebounds. He's really Duke's only explosive, like, powder keg of dynamite type guy, which is kind of crazy to say. Again, I mean, if you think about some of these Duke teams of the past, Patrick Gongba, the big man, has improved dramatically. He's averaging about, I think it's 11, 12 points and 8 rebounds a game. He's been very consistent. This Duke team, other than Boozer, has been inconsistent. I mean, the guys like Caleb Foster, Caden Boozer, Nick Amenia, Dame Sarr, Malik Brown, they've been 6 points a game to 10 points a game, sometimes less. You don't really know offensively what you're going to get from those guys. Now, here is what could be among the issues. This could be an issue for UNC. Dame Sarr, the Italian. What Duke has done lately is put him on the other team's primary ball handler. So you might see your boy Derek Dixon having to back the ball 94 feet up the court like he's Magic Johnson with Scottie Pippen on him. He's been putting some of those primary ball handlers in hell. Now, that guy, Sarr, cannot make an open shot to save his life. I think he's missed 10 straight threes. I mean, go look at his game logs. He has not made a 3 in 4 or 5 games. The guy can't shoot.
Has he been a disappointment?
I was going to say it's kind of funny because coming into the year, you thought Luka and Sarr, you saw stuff like, oh, these guys are going to be first-round draft picks. These guys are going to come over here, star for a year in college, and go make their NBA careers happen. Yeah, I would say yes, because offensively, now watch what happens after I've ripped him. He'll go crazy, but the guy cannot make an open shot.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic finisher in transition. He's a super athlete. And defensively, he is good. When you have Sarr and Malik Brown defensively, those guys can, again, put you in hell. And Boozer's anticipation and strength, the big Boozer, not the little one. The little one sucks, all due respect. The big one's strength and anticipation is fantastic. His stamina is unreal. Like, the guy plays, I mean, it's unbelievable the production he's able to come up with given the load that he has. They give him the damn ball at the end of the shot clock. He's like a 6'9", 6'10" power forward. They let him go one-on-one sometimes at the end of a clock because he rarely makes mistakes. But the other guys, like, if Duke is going to win the game, you need these other guys to get their 6 to 8 to 10 points. But, Carolina could be in a situation where if you can contain these other guys and not let some dude go crazy and just live with Boozer being Boozer, I think Carolina can win the game. My daughter's going to kill me. She's a sophomore at UNC. I think Carolina's going to win the game, which probably defies logic, but they get them in Chapel Hill and the place is going to be on fire.
Yeah, I mean, it is strange. Like, you look at their roster and the stats, and you're like, who is good on this team? Like, no one, like, jumps out, like you said, other than Boozer. And Evans can get hot. And he does the thing with his fingers and his arms when he
Oh,
scores. What's he do?
yeah.
Like,
I
yeah,
think it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah,
He's got a bunch of. I mean, he is very, very flammable. You know, he can hit
yeah. He can
four
go off.
threes in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, but you look at the roster, and I mean, maybe this is coaching. Like Shire puts the pieces together. They have great defense. I mean, Malik Brown off the bench as
Oh
a
my
defender.
God.
I mean, he's going to give Caleb Wilson fits and maybe some backup defense on Vasar. But I haven't watched Duke too much. It's just the Dame Sarr. You thought he was going to be this All-American guy. The way they talked about him coming in after that one player went to the NBA draft. But the guards don't.
Coward.
Yeah,
Cedric Coward was the Washington State transfer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pull. And Mikhail Foster has been solid. He had one really good game where he starred, but he doesn't really scare you. But he's experienced, which is nice. Other than that, you know, it's Evans and Boozer and Gongba, but I don't know. But are they better than last year's team in terms of just how they're dominating? I know they're not better, but it just seems like they are putting away teams with ease this year against a stronger ACC slate, or maybe just Louisville's not as good as we thought, you know, and some of these ACC teams aren't as good as we thought. But I mean, last year's team is obviously more talented.
It's a good point because the Duke team last year, their record was worse. At this 20 games into the season, their record was worse than this team's record is. I mean, I think if last year's Duke team, it's almost stunning they didn't win the national championship. As talented, as hard as they played, I think that is such an underrated skill that Cooper Flagg, now you could dislike him all you want to if you're a UNC fan. The guy played hard. Con Knipple played hard. Sion James played hard. Sion James was a star at Tulane and decided to sacrifice his game and go to Duke to try to win the national championship. And it worked out. He got to the NBA. But you know, I think another key, if I can give you another key to the game, in my opinion, is, and it's kind of it's kind of obvious, is if Vasar and Wilson can stay out of foul trouble, because Boozer is super physical. Gongba is, some might say, dirty. He's very physical. I have a friend. Can't tell you his name. He is a fan of the show. He likes big hitters only. He's a big fan of Ross Martin content. He does live here in Mebane, North Carolina, God's country. Who goes back and forth between hating Gongba at Duke and Quadir Copeland at NC State. Like, those are his, by far. He's obviously a tremendous Carolina fan. Those are by far his two biggest hated ACC players ever. Like, he hates them. And I understand where he's coming from on both. But with Gongba, you can get, now, he may have his way on Saturday, but you can get him in foul trouble because he gets prone to getting in little, like, back and forth, little shoving, shit-talking matches. I don't know if you remember last year at the ACC tournament in Charlotte. We were there, and everyone saw him. You know, he cleans Vin Allen Lubin's clock with a swinging forearm right to his face. I still don't know how he didn't get ejected. I guess Vin Allen was in his space, in his cylinder, but I mean, he hit him in the face. So anyway, this could be an issue for UNC if you got Vasar or Wilson picking up a cheap fouler here or there, banging around with Gongba. That's something to watch.
Banging the gong.
There you go.
Well, I mean, one thing it's been kind of insane to think about, but Vasar and Wilson haven't really struggled with foul trouble to a point where it's affecting the outcome of a game. It feels like, you know, you always kind of worry about that, but I don't think there's been too many games where they've had to pull them out for critical moments down the stretch, which is strange because they play so much and they have to be so important for UNC's offense and defense.
There was one game, maybe Virginia, where Vasar had 4 fouls and had to sit down the stretch. It might have been Virginia. They won the game. I think it was at Virginia, where obviously it was the game of Jaron Stevenson's life.
Yeah.
But I think he was out for like the final 5 minutes. I think they played the final 5 minutes without Henry.
Sneeze. Ooh, big sneeze. All right, I think it passed. All right, let's move on.
Bless you.
Sorry about that. Let's move on a little bit from the Duke game. A couple topics here. A because we could go on and on about matchups here and there. I mean, we'll see it all play out. It's a huge game. I guess one thing here quickly, Adam. What is if UNC goes 1-1 versus Duke versus UNC going 0-2 in Duke? How does that change your perspective of this team and Hubert Davis? There's a lot in that question.
My perspective of Hubert Davis is tied to this, huh? I don't know. I haven't thought about that, honestly. I mean, I think I think this UNC team, when it is playing its best, and I don't know that we've seen a complete game from them.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen a great second half against Kansas. We saw an unbelievable second half at UVA. You know, we've seen some of those. You know, I'm not sure, but I still think that this UNC team can be one of the best in the ACC. I think Duke is clearly the best team in the ACC right now, as we're sitting here on February 4th. But these other contenders to the throne, Clemson, Louisville, Miami, NC State, Carolina, Virginia. Yeah, I think Carolina's just as good as those teams, if not better. I mean, they've proven they can beat Virginia. I think they will beat Clemson in Chapel Hill. I think they'll beat Louisville in Chapel Hill. I am down on Louisville. I think they shoot too many threes. I'm not a fan of Pat Kelsey, all due respect. That's just my personal opinion. But I have a crush on Miami. I'll be honest with you. I've always told you the truth, Ross, about what I'm attracted to and all sorts of things. I have a crush on Cal too.
Yeah,
I mean they are fun to watch.
Okay, but back to the question. I mean, on focus here.
Are you trying to make this a referendum on Hubert's job?
I think if Hubert goes 0-2 versus Duke, that's 0-5 in the last 2 seasons, combined with a really bad last year. It's like, all right, well, you compare yourself. I mean, this is a clear thing. You compare yourself to Duke. That is who UNC should compare themselves to: Kansas, Kentucky, and Duke, and whatever hot team. UConn, whatever hot team there. And those are who you compare yourself to. And Duke is obviously recruiting at a completely different level than UNC. And if you can't beat them, I mean, that's all right. You have a Duke problem. And so I think a win is huge. I think you beat Duke at home. I mean, that is huge. It's a feather in the cap. It's a 5-game win streak. You're now kind of inching up the ACC ranks. And that's a big, big win for Hubert Davis. But I think if you lose back-to-back Duke games following what happened last year, I think it's just another bad thing for his resume. So I think, what does a win do for this team? I mean, versus what a loss does, other than the obvious.
Well, I mean, do you really think you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Do you really think Steve Newmark is going to get rid of Hubert when? I mean, like, who makes the decision? Is what I'm saying. Like, Bubba Cunningham's on his way out. Bubba's on his way out. Newmark's on his way in. I mean,
I think that could definitely happen.
What would Roy Williams might kill Steve Newmark? I mean,
but if you look at the schedule, if UNC, I mean, this is big time stuff here. Rate, review, subscribe. Big hitters only. If they lose to Duke and then maybe drop one of Miami and State and then lose to Louisville and squeak by Clemson and lose to Duke again. Like, you're sitting at you're probably going 5-4 over the last 9 games or whatever, 4-5, which
could happen.
What?
Yeah,
that's very realistic. Syracuse is good, Clemson's decent, State's kind of rolling now. You get them on the road. Miami's pretty good. You get Duke twice. Like, it could be 4 or 5 losses to close the ACC slate. I don't know. That probably makes you you don't get the Thursday ACC. You probably play Wednesday the ACC tournament, so you're above 5 seed in the ACC tournament. That's not good enough. That's not the standard coming off last year. And you're probably a 7, 8, 9 seed in the ACC tournament or in the NCAA tournament. That's not the standard after being on the bubble last year. So that's very realistic. Now you beat Duke, conversation changes, and you improve. And instead of going 5-4, 4-5, you're going 7-2 to close the ACC slate. And then it's like, all right, the seat is cooled. But I think what I just laid out is super realistic, especially coming off. Yeah. You can't lose to Stanford and Cal and SMU and struggle with a really bad Wake team. And I mean, I don't know. Is that crazy to say? And like Steve Newmark, I think it's the perfect time to make a coaching change if you're Steve Newmark. Especially like, needing support, NIL stuff, and needing support for, the Smith Center. I think
I'm not saying it's not. I just am saying, and I could be totally wrong. I'm just saying, like, how does the actual mechanics of it go down? Does Bubba make the call when he is months away from transitioning out of the job? Whose call is it?
I think it's wealthy donors.
Lee Roberts?
I think it's wealthy donors. I think it's Lee Roberts and Steve Newmark. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, right. I think it's like, all right, Roy, it's like you got your guy, Roy, for 5 years. It didn't work out. We appreciate the run in 2022, and the one good year was that 2023-24 with Harrison Ingram.
Yeah,
that was
they
awesome.
Swept Duke that year, by the way. They swept Duke.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough thing because he's had some great teams, and he's shown he can hit in the portal, and he can, they can hit in the portal, and then they can also not hit in the portal. And so it is tough because, I mean, he's had some really good seasons, and I think everybody wants him to succeed, but at some point it's like, all right, are we gonna hope and pray we are a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament? Like, that's not the standard. People come at me about the Hubert stuff. It's because the standard's been so lowered. Like, people just like, all right, let's make sure we maybe get into the NCAA tournament this year. It's like, dude, the standard is a 1 seed. It should be whether we're a 1 seed or a 2 seed. Because I drop a we in there, the fans coming out.
You've been saying we a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan now. I mean, the Big Hitter Zone, you got to play to your audience. I mean, like, what's the standard? It's your top two seed in the ACC tournament. You're competing with Duke every year. Like, you have a down year maybe once every 4 years, and then you're a chance to go to the Final Four like every other year. It's like with Roy. He kind of won a title every 5-6 years, right? That was kind of his rhythm. And then he was Elite Eight, Final Four, Elite Eight, Final Four. So I mean, it's like, all right, what's the standard now? So
no, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think what you had laid out there over the final 9 games is plausible and possible. Obviously, we should probably write a script to the show before we get on here and just start running our mouths.
Listen, I think this team is good enough. I think the talent on this team is good enough to go like 7-2. I mean, that's where coaching comes in. Like, I think they're a really good roster.
That would be a tremendous finish, and your resume would be great. Because I think today, as we sit here today, UNC's 26th in the net. Like, I think 3-5 in quad 1 games. They got 3 quad 1 wins. Again, there's 7 quad 1 games out there the rest of the way. Duke, by the way, Ross, do you know? I'm not trying to get you in a trap here. Do you know who was number 1 in the net when yesterday dawned in college basketball?
Does that change a lot every day?
Well, it changed after last night. It could be a hint for you. At the top.
I don't even know who played.
It's okay. Duke was number 1 in the goddamn net yesterday.
After beating Boston College.
Ahead of Arizona, who's unbeaten, ahead of Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, they were number 1 because of the computer doesn't, computer sees the numbers from the games. It doesn't see, what it looks like in the stadiums, in the arenas, or on the screen. They were number 1 in the net. They're down to 3 now because Boston College is so bad that it hurt them just by beating them.
All right, well, let's move on here.
That's why I say it's put up or shut up time. Really.
And I think Caleb Wilson, Vasar, we haven't even mentioned Seth Trimble, Luka. You have all these pieces. It can come together, or could it not? Or could it? And whose job is that?
And I think Caleb, as we have seen, it sucks that he's only going to be around for 1 year because he's such a joy to watch. I wish I could cover him more closely because he was such a joy to cover for just the first 5 games I got to cover the guy. But he wants moments like this. I think that's one of the reasons he's a special player. He will want this. Now, it might go wrong because of how bad he wants it. He might end up turning the ball over and forcing some shots, or getting in foul trouble. But he will want this matchup with Boozer. He wants moments like this. He wasn't guarding Darren Peterson, but he wanted to beat Darren Peterson in Kansas badly. He was guarding AJ DeBonsa in the exhibition game out in Salt Lake. It didn't even count, but he wanted that game. He said it. He wanted that. Like, that guy's got a list, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if the woman in your life makes lists, but like that guy's got a list and you know that he wants this. I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm not trying to jump ahead of these games. I can't even imagine how jacked up he will be to play in Cameron because he knows he's getting one shot there. That's
Yeah.
it, you know, one game.
All
So I
right.
think that's another thing that Carolina has going for it is just um, his passion.
Yeah.
You know, he wants it. He's not scared.
Yeah. I mean, I think this game's set up, yeah, like you said, like Seth Trimble's been here. He's done this. He's seen this. Vasar is probably not going in there scary. He's probably the better center on paper.
He played great against Duke in the tournament last year.
Yeah. Caleb
He's
Wilson.
something on Malawatch.
I'm not worried about Caleb Wilson. It's just hitting shots, man. You need Luka to hit some shots. You need Stevenson to come in and play really good defense and hit some shots.
Yep.
And you need Powell.
Yes.
Yeah. Drake. Sorry.
No.
I'm confusing. Jonathan
You got
Powell.
it.
Yeah, Drake Powell, Jonathan Powell to hit some shots as well. And then, Dixon not to mess things up. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on a little bit. You got any Smith Center takes? Have you been following these stories?
Yeah, of course. You mean what I would like to see happen? I don't know. My problem is I can see both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would show my age here. Like, I do think it's special to be able to walk down to the game as a student. How the hell do you get to Carolina North if you're a sophomore? How do you do it?
It's 1.3 miles from Franklin Street.
Yeah, but what if you live in Hinton James?
Yeah, you're taking a bus. There's going to be a shuttle, I imagine, a pretty organized shuttle
absolutely. And I'm sure it will be great out there to have like an entertainment district and all. I'm sure it would be amazing. And Bubba has said, I mean, they've been showing their hand at this for years. Bubba, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to Bubba Cunningham and he has raved about John Paul Jones Arena at UVA. Because they have those beautiful boxes and it's a little smaller. It's not 21,000. It's 17,000 or whatever it is, 15,000. I don't know, man. Like, doesn't the money always win out? Like, is that how Bill Belichick got here? Like, doesn't it always win out? I do think that Roy and Tyler Hansbrough and these guys are winning the PR battle right now, if that matters. With some of the comments they've made, it might not matter, but I do think it's cool where it has been to go there. I don't know what the logistics of everything look like out there at Carolina North, but I'm sure it would be a gorgeous setup.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you're listening to this and you're tuning in just for Adam, go back and listen to our last episode. It's called the Smith Center Debate with Brian Murphy and Spencer Dalton. Brian Murphy, I think a 3 or 4 time big hitter appearance now. It's a great discussion, touching on all the different angles. There's so much at play there. So definitely check out that podcast on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe, engage, comment, etc. Anything else you want to talk about, Adam?
I can go however long you need me to, Ross. I don't want to
I'm good on the basketball stuff. That was enough Duke talk, I believe.
Did you want to talk about NC State? You were kind of
I mean, actually, quickly, you watched State last night. State all of a sudden is like top of the ACC here with 2 losses, I believe.
I think they're 8-2.
8-2 ACC standings here. I mean, they're just kind of stacking wins, like you say these teams have to do. A big win on the road last night at SMU. Like, I saw them play early on this season, and they didn't look good. But now they're 8-2, ahead of UNC, top of the ACC, probably gonna make the tournament, and have a chance to get a bye. In the ACC tournament. A couple buys there and play Thursday. So what have they been doing that's improving? What do you like about them? Old Prince William Wade.
It's funny, isn't it? I hadn't even thought about get a bye in the ACC tournament. They didn't make it last year.
Yeah,
they're one of the 3 teams that didn't even make it.
Tells you the impact of coaching, man. I mean, he's coached them up. They've gotten a lot better last 6 weeks.
They absolutely have. There were times where you were like, "Woo,"
Yeah, I didn't think they had pieces.
Writing Will Wade's mouth writing checks that his team can't cash. But yeah, like I mean, this team, this NC State team shoots a ton of threes. I mean, I think I've said it to you, like they are super chaotic. I mean, they are all over the place, but it's an eventful watch. I'll tell you that. It's not boring. I mean, they jack the threes up. Um, it's they depend a ton on their starters. They basically get nothing off the bench. They depend on Copeland, Paul McNeil, Vin Allen Lubin, Darian Williams, and Trey Holloman. And they play pretty well together. They really don't have a traditional big man. Vin Allen plays hard and is active, but he's limited at 6'8", obviously. But they spread you out. They run good stuff. And they shoot the heck out of it. And sometimes when those shots are going in, like last night at SMU, I mean, it was super fascinating. Copeland 16 assists.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like threatening Chris Corciani's school record.
I mean, he's a forward, right? I mean, he looks about 6'7" out there, right? 6'7", 6'8".
I think they list him at 6'6". He's a very non-traditional point guard.
Is he their point guard?
Ross, he's their most important player, in my opinion, by far. I mean, Darian Williams has gotten it together the last couple of games. I think he's got 3 straight games in more than 20 points. And he's important, but they are just so different when they have to take Copeland out. Copeland like sprained his ankle a little bit last night. You never can tell with him. I mean, this guy's all over the place. I thought he was faking it, trying to draw a foul. He's crazy. Like, no one talks more shit than NC State. They talk so much shit. I can tell you, your boy Roger Ayers, the college basketball official.
Love him. The only ref I know.
He is not on board with it. He does not like calling those NC State games. He's not a fan of Will Wade. They are talking. They very much mirror Will Wade. They are talking nonstop, particularly Darian Williams, and Kadir Copeland. I mean, they're talking to the opposing bench. They're talking to the assistant coaches. I mean, not kind of in a confrontational way. They just talking. Like, that sort of gets them going. Watch them in the handshake line. They'll be loving everybody up because they've been talking crap all game long. But, I mean, Copeland, I think Trey Holloman was hitting some sort of, like, crotch move at the SMU students. Like, I'm showing I don't watch wrestling. Like, it looked like a crotch, like, suck it type situation at the SMU students. I mean, Copeland was... No one talks more than Copeland, and the dude is backing it up. But you're talking about his size. I mean, he's very, very non-traditional. He's coming off pick and rolls, ball screens, and he draws contact. He's not looking to score. He's looking to set you up, and he's a fantastic passer. He's very, I don't want to say awkward, but it is not a smooth thing. Like he has like the deceleration, the decel step when he gets into the lane, and he'll kick it out to Paul McNeil for 3, kick it out to Darian Williams for 3.
Kadar Copeland. I mean, Syracuse, 2 years at Syracuse, McNeese State, and then NC State falling way to Raleigh. 3-star kid and having a really good season. I will be going to the game in Raleigh.
Oh man,
and
nice.
I'm going to try to sit amongst the fans because I don't want to be in the hockey press conference.
So you're credentialed? You mean you're credentialed for the game?
I have requested a credential.
Oh, cool.
From NC State. Yeah, CBS.
Well,
National.
Maybe I could ride along with you.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
So I think I'm going to go to the Duke. I'm going to Duke game. Going to NC State. I'm going to Clemson. I'm going to ACC tournament. All right, Adam. Anything else? Any wedding advice? I am under 90 days until the wedding. Right? Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
It'll be. It's late April, right?
Mid-April.
We could talk in private. I don't know if we need to talk on the internet about that. I'm sure your bride will look absolutely breathtaking, and I'm sure you'll be a very handsome groom, big dog. Are you doing like the traditional tux and all? Like what's? I mean, I don't know. You could be like sleeves rolled up with your showing clavicle, knowing you. Like what?
You'll have to wait and see.
All right, you're not giving that up.
Looking forward to seeing you at the bachelor party too.
I will be this. I didn't know if you're bringing me back on this time because you forgot to tell me happy birthday last month. I didn't know if that was like my birthday present or whatever.
When's your birthday?
What's that?
When's your birthday?
It's in January.
I remember buying you a drink at Highwire in Durham for your birthday after, I think, a game or something.
It was after an NC State game I covered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Came from Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
I met your better half that day.
Yeah, a different one.
Yeah, but I remember it's May 13th, is it not?
It is.
Am I allowed to say that?
You're a better man than me.
You're May 13th. Jim Hawkins is November 13th. 2 13s.
That's right. Yeah, looking forward to having you at the Bachelor Party. This Bachelor Party is designed for local people like you. It's an easy drive. It's going to be inexpensive, a massive house, hot tub. 90 minutes from Greensboro. A lot of listeners on this podcast will be there.
What's the sleeping arrangements?
First come, first serve. Maybe you and Shram twin bedding it up. I mean, it's going to be. The goal of this. I would love to do a podcast about this. The goal of this Bachelor Party is to put together a collection of all the characters in all the different parts of my life. I have friends. I don't have like this one friend group from college, or this one friend group from high school, and then this. I have friends from different parts of my life that a couple people from each group that I still talk to, and it's just a massive array of characters. You being a big part of, you're definitely a character from a part of my life. And so I don't even know if you'll be the oldest person there.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. You'll be close. Definitely there have been invites out to older people, but I don't think they're coming. But there is one person that may be very similar in your age, a new friend that will be there.
Wait, new friends are making the cut for this?
Well, I'm trying to fill the roster, and you got these wedding bachelor parties, and the wedding, you're kind of betting on potential, and you're investing in, all right, who am I going to be friends with in the next 5 years versus someone I don't talk to anymore. It's kind of how. What?
You're talking crazy.
Yeah,
you're betting on.
I talked to some people that I've become friends with the last year or so, way more than someone. I went to high school with,
Okay, yeah.
So you're kind of you're kind of betting on, all right, what have you done for me recently? I guess is the best way to say it. There's some people I see twice a week now that I've only met the last year or so. So
okay, all right.
Hot tub, I think pool table, ping pong, 2 rounds of golf, probably some Olympics, some activities, some competition-based activities, and it's Sweet 16 weekend. Ball on, hopefully get a couple TVs on there if we can figure that out. And it's going to be keg of light beer. Beautiful northwestern North Carolina.
What would the golf courses be, do you know?
I have them narrowed down. I got to call them and see. Okay. There's only a couple there that are within driving distance, and I think one's semi-private, and I think one's public. And so I actually get a reminder. I might do that today. All right, Adam. Any questions on that topic?
Will there be hard drugs there? Because I have never done hard drugs.
It's a no comment.
Okay, understand.
There's a lot of characters. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, Adam. You will not be forced to do hard drugs. So if you have the willpower to abstain, you'll be able to abstain.
Well, I'm definitely going to abstain. I don't need to be doing that stuff.
I don't do
I'm
either.
A big wimp.
Yeah, but man.
I'm as beta as they come, big dog. Beta soy boy.
Oh, gosh. All right. Good stuff. Getting off the rails here. Adam Smith. Check out rowback.com. Use promo code BIGHitters20. Tell your friends. The best way to help this podcast is tell your friends about that promo code on Rowback. And tell your friends to rate, review, subscribe, follow on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. BIGHitters20 is the promo code. Anything else from you, Adam?
I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate your friendship. You've lifted me up in this difficult time, and I appreciate it. You have. I'm not joking. You've been great.
All right. We'll see you guys.